Afternoon YouTube's Upside DIY. Right here, another update in June 2019. So I got some water sprouts. So there's one by the rock, and there's two there. So the way how I did it was, at first I had this front aquarium just with sand, perhaps a heat pad, but I never plugged in the heat pad. Some rocks and things, and no filter. You know, I was working on the covers during that time, and basically, you know, working on ideas for other things, cleaning a lot of things like the filters, the top lights, and things like that. Fixing the warps on this plastic cover, doing other aquascape type of ideas, you know, and basically I have 2 air pumps, and just reuse it, and just checking up on a lot of the old stuff that I collected, and getting things to work, see what works, what doesn't, and then after that I probably just have to store it or give it away and give to somebody that's going to really enjoy it. I have a lot of stuff and things like that. Don't have, you know, so much, but what's in front of me and things. So back to how I got these aquarium plants just to grow is I added some driftwood, you know, added fake plants, sponge filter, lights, cover, a good cover. There's even less sand in this. When it was just, you know, just water, sand, and rocks, nothing grew. But then I added real driftwood and fertilizer. Maybe if you have sand, rocks, and driftwood, the driftwood might start fertilizing itself and spreading throughout the sand and things, and maybe some algae. You never know. I might have to try that in a different situation, in another situation. Every little tub and bucket, power outlet, it all adds into you know, an ecosystem and things. And these plants are really trying to grow, but they won't grow that much. They'll just grow so far during the summer, which is right now, and then in the winter they'll slow down a little bit, and then in the summer, by next year, these plants should be grown if things keep going good and things. I do have a heat pad in there just for emergency, you know, on really colder nights or something like that. But right now, during the spring and the sun's energy, is starting to change the environment, and basically having this driftwood up here was pretty much how it started fertilizing the sand and the rocks. But you know, the fake plants and the aquascape, and then the water filtering really helped out. I think it's also the water filtering is just keeping things really clean and sustainable, you know, from just water, sand, and rocks and things. I don't know, currents and just motion of creates some type of energy that helps out. So it's pretty warm. I'm sweating a little bit. You know, seeing lights on, seeing, just feeling, you know, like summertime. Summertime's gonna start, so I got a plan for a couple of months to get through the summer and things. So right here, I'm gonna just remove these 3 plants on the left, and and the rest of it should be pretty good. Kind of like this burgundy plant right there. Kind of, you know, keeps a good gateway and things. But I don't know how. You know, it pretty much. You know, what made this really look nice is probably the rocks that I picked. You want to pick kind of polished, smooth rocks rather than rocks with like limestone. Sometimes, like how gems and polishers work, they actually use oil to keep them from dulling out and seeing the real rock features. So that's a pretty good tip on some of the substrates. But you know, if you keep them in water like this, you can really see and point out which ones are there and things. But these plants and this driftwood, first of all, the driftwood is what kind of started it, and then there's like sap and sugars and just and even you know, it kind of decomposing in the water, it just helps fertilize and keeps a good pH balance for something like that to happen. So I don't know how far I'm ahead of myself. Probably by next year these plants will be looking okay, hopefully, and I have a good light and things. I do have to plan out a lot of things. It's all pretty much hard work because everything is not really shored up, and you know, checks just don't show up in the mail for me and things. But it's just how it goes sometimes. So I'm gonna be setting up my next things hopefully when I have time. It's pretty much this air pump. I'm gonna try to hook up. I'm gonna try to build 2 more of these sponge filters, perhaps a smaller sponge filter, which is practically one of these bottles. I kind of started on it. So I just have to solder some holes and make a. So I want to try to get 2 of these, like a smaller size, and hopefully they turn out okay. This sponge and polisher is only hooked up to the one air pump, and then it at least it runs both of them constantly. I don't know how good, or you know, things are changing with it, but it gives me, it's cool to look at. It might be doing good, it might be doing bad. But that's just all because my air pump is just really weak. I need to actually start hooking up the air pump or something, and figuring out the pieces that I need for that. Then I could really think about other aquariums and having really nice species. Maybe next year. Right now I'm just waiting for it to cool down. It's pretty hot and sunny. I can't really, you know, manage like a lot of things in the heat. I just have to slow down and do my best at one thing day to day. But with this air pump, this double connection air pump, it's good for this side. So I'm just getting used to a lot of my things. I would call it. Just seeing how things line up, maybe, you know, everything's just getting used to the hobby and seeing, you know, what's involved, and basically having you know, a fun time, just trying to be, you know, a fish tuber or a fish hobbyist, you know, it's just a word, you know. You just have to actually really have the time, the mindset, and the tools. So it's really fun. I think when things start working, I actually can show you guys pretty much the HOB filters after a week of learning them. I just hooked this one up, and these have rocks and things. This is just hooked up today. I pulled the propeller down at first. You know, with some of these old ones, they might have a little crack, I don't know, but even with the power head that I have, I can still try to test it. I just don't know exactly. You know, you just spend maybe 1 to 5 minutes with the power on and then wiggling things around, then hopefully it'll work out. But the next time it might not work out, but at least you know what can and can't be. And it's good to have journals and things. I need to get onto that and actually have good like gym time and good posturing or something, just to get back, you know, and motivated. Then hopefully I get some good results. This is pretty much, you know, pretty common in freshwaters to have aqua plants and things, but you know, you see so many different things for it, and you know, different and it's really hard to sort through, you know, and kind of, and then you got to look for the same things. So that's pretty much what I kind of got to. Is I did it on a really, you know, base budget, and it's actually having some results and things. And hopefully these plants, like this aquarium, I like to see them grow and things like that, and maybe see other growth, maybe this week, next week. But I know when it comes to winter time and things like that, you know, and even adding a live fish, things might change. So I would actually just have to keep figure, you know, learning and then building new things. This aquarium water, last week, it's been clear for a few days, but when I added the sand in it, the rocks were already in there, and there's a plastic tray underneath those rocks, so the bottom of the aquarium is kind of safe from weight and things. But the main thing is just adding the sand. How it got murky, I cleared it up, you know, and you know, had the driftwood in there during the murky things, and it really helped fertilize a lot of this for, you know, at least plants to grow. I don't know if a fish could go in there or not, but pretty much wish I had a lot more space, or you know, having this trial and you know, being on a tight budget like this. I want to do a lot more with it and try to earn a living inside the hobby, but we'll just have to you know, figure out the best course, and then just try out the experience and see what the experience is like. So yeah, really good news. Aqua plants are growing. Free aqua plants are growing, and I'm filtering out this tank. I'm thinking about that 20, you know, I'm always trying to get a fish, you know, that's the final satisfaction of fish keeping. And you basically have to, you know, maintain the other references, and then get to the point of having a really nice fish and things. I might be able to do it if I hook up the other stuff. I might have to clean that out, you know, put that away, and as another reference, and we'll just have to see. I'm gonna have to finish building stuff too, and right here I can see a lot of stuff on the outside. There's stuff out that needs to be cleaned. So thanks for watching, YouTube. See you later.